Imagine the scene. The alarm rings before the sun even rises. You open your eyes with difficulty, not because you slept poorly, but because your body has already learned to feel tired before even getting out of bed. No time for a calm coffee. You swallow anything, grab your keys, and throw yourself into traffic. You arrive at work with a full head and an empty heart. You call it stability. After all, the paycheck comes in every month, bills are paid, and on the outside, life even looks organized. But inside, something feels off. An uncomfortable, silent feeling you try to ignore. It's just another Monday. The problem is that this Monday keeps repeating for weeks, for months, for years. And while you live on autopilot, something precious slowly dies. Your freedom. The freedom to choose how to use your time, to decide when to stop, to take a deep breath and say, "Today I don't need to rush." But the system was designed for this, to train you to trade time for money. You work, you get paid, you spend, you repeat, like a treadmill that never stops but also never moves forward. Now stop and think, why have some people already broken free from this cycle? Ordinary people who also started out with debt, kids' bills, but today live off passive income, have time, and sleep peacefully. The answer lies in a word school never taught seriously: assets. While you're chasing a paycheck, these people build machines that work for them. Invisible machines, simple, powerful, that keep running while they sleep, rest, or travel with family. Robert Kiyosaki puts it bluntly: it's not your job that makes you rich, it's the assets you build with your job's income. And this is where the shift begins. It's not about quitting everything right now. It's about truly understanding that staying in this cycle forever is a choice, a very expensive choice, because every day you work only to pay bills is a day that could have been used to build your freedom. Once you understand that your time shouldn't be sold for a salary, the inevitable question arises: where do I start? And here's a secret most people ignore because it sounds too boring: treasury bonds. But before you roll your eyes, understand this. They are like the foundation of a house. They don't make noise, they don't grow fast, but they're what hold everything up when the storm hits. Know that fear of losing everything? That crisis scenario: rising inflation, rising interest rates, uncertainty everywhere? Those who have money in treasury bonds are sleeping peacefully. Here's how it works. You lend money to the government and in return you earn interest. It's like becoming the bank. The government uses your money today and gives it back tomorrow with returns. And the best part, it's one of the lowest risk investments in the market. Some options pay every 6 months. Others you can sell early if needed. And there are bonds that protect against inflation, meaning even if prices rise, your money grows too. Kiyosaki always said, the first step to wealth isn't earning more, it's protecting what you already have. And that's exactly what treasury bonds do. They won't make you rich overnight, but they will keep you from going broke overnight. It's like a financial cushion. While many chase promises of quick profits, the wisest build their foundation with solid, predictable, and secure assets. Want freedom? Start by building security. Now that you have a secure base with treasury bonds, it's time to start planting trees that bear fruit on their own. You've heard the idea of making money while you sleep? It may sound like fantasy for someone used to a fixed salary, but in the world of assets, that's just the beginning. Dividend ETFs are exactly that, assets that pay you regularly just for being a shareholder. It's like owning a slice of several companies, and every time those companies profit, they share with you. Here's how it works. You buy an ETF, basically a bundle of stocks from solid, stable, profitable companies. These companies pay dividends, and the ETF passes part of that to you. Quarter after quarter, that money lands in your account. And the best part, you don't have to pick the companies yourself. ETFs like Nobel, SCHD, or VYME already do that for you. They choose companies that pay dividends consistently and reliably, meaning they keep paying you even in hard times. Kiyosaki always warned, passive income is the key to freedom. The day you stop working and money still comes in, that's the day you're free. Of course, there's still one important detail. ETFs are still part of the system. They depend on the economy, market stability, public policies. In other words, you do have passive income, but not total control. Even so, it's a powerful asset, especially for beginners. You can start small, reinvest the dividends, watch the fruits grow over time. It's like planting a tree. At first, it seems slow, but when it starts bearing fruit without daily care, you understand the value of patience. If you ask 10 millionaires how they built their wealth, at least 7 will mention the same path: real estate. And that's no coincidence. Real estate is that asset you can see, touch, renovate, rent, sell. And unlike stocks, it doesn't vanish with a click. It's there, solid, tangible, generating monthly income. Kiyosaki always repeats, real estate is one of the oldest and still one of the most effective ways to create real and lasting wealth. Here's how it works. You buy a property, it can be a house, apartment, office space, even a studio. Then you rent it out, and that's it. Money enters your account every month, and more. You can use the bank's money to buy that property. This is called leverage, a powerful tool when used wisely. You put in part of the value, the bank covers the rest, and the tenant pays the installments. It's like building an asset with other people's money. Plus, real estate tends to appreciate over time, meaning while it pays you rent every month, its value keeps rising year after year. And when the right time comes, you can sell, profit, and reinvest. But beware, real estate takes work. You need to choose a good location, maintain the property, understand contracts, deal with tenants. It's not immediate passive income, it's built passive income. And that's the secret. The best assets demand effort at first, but then they work for you. And if you think you need a lot of money to start, think again. Today, there are ways to get into the game with little capital, like consortia, auctioned properties, real estate funds, or even shared ownership. What matters is starting, because every property you put to work for you is one less step in the rat race. It's one more step toward freedom. If real estate puts you on the path to freedom, owning your own business can give you wings. Yes, it's the most demanding at the beginning, but it's also the only one that has the power to break the chain that ties you to a salary once and for all. Kiyosaki often says there are 2 types of people: those who work for money and those who build systems that generate money. Owning a business is just that, building a system, something that keeps working even when you're no longer present. Sounds like a dream? Then listen to this. Imagine you open a small online store. At first you do everything yourself, picking products, answering customers, packing, shipping. But over time, you build structure, you automate, you train someone, you create processes, and one day you realize the store makes sales while you sleep. Or think of a content channel, a digital course, a consulting service, a franchise, your own brand. That's your knowledge becoming an asset, your experience becoming a system, your time becoming freedom. Kiyosaki didn't get rich on a salary. He got rich through businesses, buying, selling, creating, and most of all, understanding one thing. The owner of the system is the one who truly profits. Yes, it's scary. Yes, you'll make mistakes. But every mistake teaches you more than years in a job that doesn't challenge you. And contrary to what many think, you don't need an office or a lot of capital. Today, you can start small from home with a phone, a computer, and an idea that solves a real problem. The secret isn't inventing something revolutionary, it's finding something useful, improving what already exists, and delivering it consistently. And remember, when the system is running, you've created something that no longer depends on your daily effort. That's freedom. That's true wealth. Everyone knows someone who pays interest, but almost no one knows someone who earns interest. And that's the difference between chasing money or making money chase you. In the traditional model, when someone needs money, they run to the bank. The bank lends and charges high interest. But here's the part few realize, that money doesn't belong to the bank. It belongs to investors. And guess what? You can be one of those investors. That's where peer-to-peer lending comes in, or private lending between people. It works like this. You lend money directly to individuals or businesses through specialized platforms, and in return, you receive interest. Interest that can reach 10%, 12%, even 15% per year. In other words, you become the bank. But like any powerful asset, this one also demands something most people don't want to offer: responsibility. You need to assess the risks, check who you're lending to, require guarantees, and above all, diversify. Never put everything in one place. Kiyosaki emphasizes the rich don't avoid risk, they manage risk. So this asset is for those who've already understood the previous ones. For those with an emergency fund who've already started building passive income and now want to accelerate gains with strategy. There are serious regulated platforms that connect investors to solid borrowers. You can invest in agricultural credit, small business loans, loans backed by real estate, vehicles, receivables. It's a new economy without intermediaries where you set the rules. But remember, those who lend recklessly lose. Those who analyze secure, and those who understand the game profit the way banks have always profited, by earning interest. For years, we were taught to always ask the same question: how much do you earn? But that question hides a trap. It makes you focus only on cash flow in and not on the wealth that stays. Robert Kiyosaki flips the logic with a simple but powerful question. What do you own? Because look, someone might earn 20,000 rays a month and still be broke. No assets, no security, no freedom. Every month, everything that comes in goes out. Someone else might earn 4,000 rays but have growing investments, rental income, dividend payments. They're building something. They own assets, and assets keep working even when they stop. That's the difference between looking rich and being truly free. The problem is that many people watch videos like this, feel inspired, even dream of change. But when the video ends, they go back to the same routine. They go back to measuring wealth by their bank statement. They go back to chasing promotions. They go back to thinking they need to earn more, when in fact they need to build more. It's like a leaky bucket. No matter how much water you pour in, if you don't fix the leak's expenses, liabilities, consumption habits, you'll never fill it. So stop now and take an honest look at your life. Are you accumulating assets or just collecting bills? The real breakthrough happens when you shift your focus from income to net worth, from what you earn to what you build. If there's a trap more dangerous than working your whole life for a salary, it's this: waiting for the perfect moment to start. You've probably said something like, "I'll invest when I have money left over. I'll start my business when everything's in place. I'll study more before I act." But here's a hard and liberating truth: the perfect moment never comes. There will never be a day when everything is calm, easy, safe, and convenient. And the more you wait, the more time you lose. Kiyosaki always says, you don't have to quit your job tomorrow, but you do have to stop depending only on it. Because financial freedom is not an event. It's a process that begins with a decision to invest 30 Rs in a treasury bond, to buy your first ETF share, to research real estate, register a small business, test an idea, study a new asset. Starting small is not failure, it's wisdom. Every giant tree was once a seed, and what made the difference wasn't the size of the seed, it was the fact that someone planted it. You already have what you need to start. The knowledge is out there. The paths are right in front of you. The question is, will you keep waiting, or will you take the first step today? Many people look at those who achieved financial freedom and think, oh, they were lucky. They were in the right place at the right time. They had connections. They started with money. But that mindset is what keeps people stuck in the same place, because while they point outward, true builders look inward. They know it wasn't luck. It was decision, discipline, clarity, action. Even Kiyosaki went through debt, bankruptcies, criticism. But he kept building because he understood that wealth doesn't come from a high salary. It comes from the right mindset and from the courage to act before feeling 100% ready. Every asset we've presented here, from treasury bonds to business building, only becomes real income when you take the lead role. Don't wait for someone else to set you free. Don't count on public retirement, luck, or miracle promises. The system wasn't made to make you rich. It was made to keep you busy. Your mission is to break that cycle. And that starts with a single gesture: taking action. Now that you've come this far, one thing is clear. You don't have to rely solely on your salary anymore. You have options, you have paths, you have assets that can work for you. There's an asset that doesn't show up on your bank statement. It's not listed on the stock market. It can't be bought ready-made. But it's the one that transforms all the others into real freedom. Applied knowledge. It's not enough to know that treasury bonds are safe. You need to learn how to buy them. It's no use just hearing that dividend ETFs pay well. You need to know where to find them, how to analyze them, how to reinvest. Knowledge is the only asset no one can take from you. And when applied even with 30 or 50 RIAs, it multiplies. Kiyosaki was clear about this. The safest investment in the world is in financial education. And we're not just talking about expensive courses, but about videos like this, books, podcasts, taking 15 minutes a day to study an asset, a concept, a new tool. Because every right action is born from real understanding. And the more you understand, the less you fear, and the faster you move forward. So if you really want to build freedom, start like this. Study one asset per week. Put 20 RIAs into action just to see how it works. Speak less, do more. Because at the end of the day, applied knowledge is the only asset that transforms intention into results. You can have the best books, the right courses, a solid financial plan, but if you're surrounded by people who don't believe in you, who constantly complain or make fun of your dreams, financial growth will be a much harder battle. Robert Kiyosaki has always been direct on this point. If you want to change your life, start by changing who's around you. That doesn't mean cutting ties with everyone. It means becoming aware of where you're putting your attention. Stop and reflect. Who do you talk to about money? Who encourages you to invest, study, build something of your own? And who keeps pulling you back into old habits, discouraging you or distracting you? The environment you live in is an invisible asset. It can speed up your journey or keep you stuck in the same place for years. And the worst part, sometimes it happens so subtly that you don't even notice. Many people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they're surrounded by negative voices, sarcastic comments, disbelieving looks. On the other hand, when you connect with people who are also seeking financial freedom, everything changes. The conversations change, the habits change, the goals become clearer. You feel inspired, stronger, more focused. So in addition to building financial assets, build an environment that strengthens your goals. Seek content that motivates you. Read books that open your mind. Talk to people who want to grow. Because in the end, the freedom you build on the outside needs to be supported by the strength of what surrounds you. There's an asset everyone has, but few truly value: time. You can earn money, lose it, and earn it back. You can make a mistake in investing and recover, but the time that has passed will never return. Robert Kiyosaki always emphasizes this in his teachings. Those who start early have the most powerful advantage of all time, working as an ally. The problem is that most people waste their best years trying to climb the corporate ladder, waiting for retirement or living on autopilot. Meanwhile, those who understand the power of time start small. They invest even with little. They learn, test, reinvest, and they let time do the invisible work that only it knows how to do: multiply. Because that's how real financial freedom is born. Not from a lucky break, but from small, consistent decisions made long enough. The sooner you plant, the sooner you harvest. And the longer your money works for you, the greater the impact of compound interest, asset appreciation, and real wealth growth. But the opposite is also true. Those who procrastinate, who postpone, who keep saying, "Someday I'll start," are losing an asset that can never be recovered: time. So stop and think. Are you spending your time or investing it in your freedom? At the end of the day, it's not what you do occasionally that changes your life. It's what you do every day with the time you have. If you'd like, I can continue with more bonus topics such as the power of consistency, the risk of doing nothing, how to turn a salary into a seed for freedom, the difference between working for money and making money work for you. But in the end, it all comes down to one choice. Will you just watch this video, feel that short burst of motivation, and then go back to the same routine? Or will you use this momentum and take the first step today? You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to start big. You just need to start. Because while many wait for the perfect moment, the ones who truly build wealth act in silence, build with consistency, and win with vision. So I ask you, which of these assets will you start building now? Leave your answer in the comments. I'll read everyone. And if this video helped you in any way, share it with someone who also needs to escape the rat race. Help this message go further. And of course, if you want more content like this, with practical, accessible advice and strategies to build real financial freedom, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Because here we don't just teach how to make money, we teach how to achieve freedom. See you in the next video.